Yo, welcome to Simple B. It's your boy P. You know what it is. Now hit the subscribe button down below. And let's get it. Let's get it. Yo, what a day, man. I just woke up from yesterday games. I only watched the only game that mattered yesterday. That was probably one of the most anticipated games and the most important games of the regular season. Clippers versus Golden State Warriors. So first off, it was an amazing game. I'm not gonna get into all. I'm not gonna get into. You already know right now how the playoffs standings looking like, and all that. So we have. I think Clippers got. I think they got the fifth spot, yeah, and Golden State in the playing now. So we're just gonna start there right away with the matchups, or a little bit about the yesterday game, and then we get into some playoff talks. So starting with yesterday game, it was important for me at least to see. I wanted to see some like glimpses from both teams, especially when it comes to the first Warriors. I feel like Jimmy Butler, like they've been winning a lot of games since they got there. They've basically been in a little playoff hunt since he got there because they were under 500 before the trade, and we saw a little bit of that in the first half when it was actually they went on a huge run. Maybe it was a 16-3 run uh, when Steph was on the bench. It's like probably the first time it happened this season, or maybe second time. Like when Steph was on the bench, they were actually playing good. Like of course, Kawhi and James Harden wasn't on the court at the same time, so you can tell the bench played really well. Podziemski is balling. Jimmy Butler was attacking, real aggressive. So I like to. It was nice to see some of that. But here's the thing, when it comes to Clippers, I told y'all probably three. I think now from today is probably 3 weeks ago, or maybe a month ago. Now I don't remember, but remember I said before everybody was talking about Clippers. I said, listen, Clippers might be the most dangerous team in this whole playoffs. We all know it's Boston. Everybody know Boston. We still gotta respect the reigning champs, and they proved the way they be playing the whole regular season. It looks like they be cruising, and they were only 3 games behind Cavs. Like after all that, so Boston we know is the most dangerous team to watch out for in the playoffs. So I'm not gonna get into the Boston thing, but Clippers, I said that a long time ago because for Clippers the only thing that matters is Kawhi's health. People are kind of getting tired of the Clippers story. I know that, and I understand it because every season been like that. You've seen hopes because when Clippers were playing good every regular season, when they actually are on that little run in, I don't know if it's in the middle of January to All-Star break, they always look like the best team every time they actually roll it. So, so we're not gonna dismiss that. But it is a huge difference now since Paul George left. I'm not gonna say because now Normal Powell stepped up. Like shout out Normal Powell. Now since this season is over, let's just give him a little bit big shout out, man. Like he had a great season. Like for special, that's really he really proved who he been all this whole time. Because I always felt like Normal Powell is one of the better wing players in the whole league. It's a reason why Toronto won. I know Kawhi was the Finals MVP, Playoffs MVP. Kawhi did his thing, but Norman Powell, if y'all remember something about that playoffs, when Bucks were up 2-0 against Toronto, yeah, Toronto put up a wall against Giannis, but Norman Powell didn't play the first 2 games that much, and then when he got into the rotation, you can tell the whole offense got loosened up. Him and Van Fleet, like they were the benchmark that they were killing in that playoffs, and he went all the whole way. Siakam is gonna give you 30, then I don't know 12, 16, 28, 12, 16. Like that's what he was doing back then in the playoffs. But normal power for me, I remember big time that he played big that season or that playoffs. And yeah, so shout out for him for having a great season. But this whole Clippers thing is like people. I'm gonna say some things that I gotta make sure I'm really clear and not it doesn't come out wrong. For me, that's my real basketball, my honest basketball opinion. So this Clippers team, first of all, one thing that you're gonna that they have that no other teams have in the whole league right now. When it's when you're playing against Clippers, so right now we're gonna have Nuggets against Clippers. Yes, Jokic is ranked as the best player in the league right now. We know that. We get it. But Nuggets are already kind of, in a weird situation because of the coach firing and blah, blah, blah. But Clippers, here's the thing. James Harden, the Clippers, James Harden is actually the Rockets James Harden right now. I don't know why nobody's noticing, but James Harden is right now, he's back to being one of the best players in the league right now. Maybe a top five right now. Or top three. Like James Harden is back. When I'm saying James Harden is back, you can tell he be cruising this whole season. So yesterday he had like a quiet 37. He had a quiet 37 yesterday, a big game. He proved like you see James Harden. I'm gonna talk offensively now. So I'm gonna start with saying since they're playing Clippers, I really need you to understand how good James Harden is or have been. When we're talking in the NBA, the whole league, for the last, let's say, the last 8 years, maybe seven. I'm gonna say 7 to 8. Remember, I said 7 to 8 years. James Harden have probably been the most dominant offensive player every regular season. He's been more dominant than LeBron the last 7 to 8 years offensively. I'm not saying he's been better than LeBron, but he definitely have been more dominant as an offensive player in this league for the last 7 years. Yeah, the reason why I say that, I think if people want to throw up stats and all that, it's probably gonna show it. So, but I'm not gonna get into the stats. You can just all these Rockets teams, James Harden was carrying them. Like that's the way he plays. He's a system. Even if the system can look ugly sometimes, he's a system. He's not a player that you're just gonna plug in and just play. No, no. If it comes to a team, you just gotta give him the ball and let him run the show. So everybody can talk about, he be coming up short every regular season. Oh no, in every postseason he coming up short here and there because he ran into one of the greatest teams of all time, Golden State, when they have KD. So that's the excuse people are actually using against him, which is actually crazy when you think about that team. He still took them to 7 games. Yeah, Chris Paul was a huge factor, of course. We're talking about Chris Paul. But it is James Harden's team, or it was James Harden's team. So he been one of the best. He been one of the best players offensively every season. When he got the Sixers, he just adapted so he can let Joel Embiid be the MVP. That's all he was. He just let Joel Embiid be the guy. But he was still like he can go from he can go from leading the league in scoring to now I'm gonna lead in assist. Like that's how good James Harden been. James Harden always been a great offensive machine. Straight up, he don't do that. He don't even do that much. Like he just be, between the leg cross, hesitation, go step back. Like he only use like 3 4 moves, but he's gonna use those 3 4 moves every single time. He's not gonna change a lot of it from his game. Maybe it would be nice if he actually, I don't know, got a little better post up game where he can switch it up a little bit. That's what been the problem every postseason because he played the same way all the time. Or he be playing the same way all the time, but he did have a coach that never adjusts. So we're not gonna put everything on him. But now he's shooting mid range and shit. So now when he's in there starting to shoot mid range shots, which is really easy for him to do, and just throwing up floaters because he get by everybody. The only one that I actually seen him, the only one since he actually took his game to another level, the only guy that I've seen really guard him well, that surprised everybody, and since then, y'all know who it is. It's probably Lou Dort. So James Harden in these playoffs now, when they're gonna play Nuggets, Jamal Murray can be having these Jamal Murray games. Like Nuggets gonna need Bubba Murray. They're gonna need Bubba Murray if they're gonna be if they're gonna beat Clippers. So with that said, I just think James Harden is gonna dominate that whole Nuggets series because they don't got a defender for him. I don't think this is the time for Nuggets to start playing Westbrook more minutes than he be playing this regular season, since shit all these rumors about Mike Maloney is low key because of Westbrook. That's what they're saying. I don't believe that. I felt like Westbrook had a phenomenal season, but that's the story right now. Everybody's saying he was playing Westbrook too much. So I don't think they're gonna play him more. I think that's the only guy that actually can guard James Harden a little bit on the Nuggets team, because Aaron Gordon can guard both James Harden and Kawhi. So, and they don't have KCP, Christian Brown, bro, yeah. So that's the James Harden part. Zubac, I think is a good body to put on Jokic. So Jokic's gonna have a great series, but I don't know how great it's gonna be because at the end of the day, now it's all about winning. So now we don't, nobody's gonna care about what you do except for winning every game. And yeah, we all know James Harden know how to dominate a game. And when it comes to Kawhi Leonard, he's back, yo. He's back. Kawhi is back in that motherfucker. Like he's back to being Kawhi. Looks great. You can tell he trusts his body, which is always the biggest factor when you're coming back from injuries like that, especially these leg injuries. Like you're not sure if you want to take off from this leg or take off from both legs. Like you is so much adjusting during that time when you actually get it healthy. But you can tell these last weeks he been looking like he trusts his body. And as long as he's healthy in this playoffs, he's the best player on the court every game. So you have the most dominant offensive player, James Harden, and then you have the best player in the series with Kawhi. And that's the reason why they won yesterday against Golden State. We're getting back to the game a little bit. So you see, Jimmy Butler, when you look at the whole league, like the top wing players, he had a terrible season this year, Paul George. But let's say you have Jason Tatum, you can have Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, what's his name? I don't know Jalen Green, Jimmy Butler. So Jimmy Butler is always the one that's right, like always takes his game to another level when you get to the playoff. Maybe Jimmy Butler and DeRozan. So and then that's when you get playoff Jimmy, because he's a phenomenal two-way player, like they call it today. Like shit, the other day, shit, everybody had to play defense, even though everybody wasn't a threat on the offensive end, but still everybody had to play defense. So Jimmy Butler always been the one that always takes his game to another level. He always shows the extra toughness and yeah, basically showing the extra grit. That's where he sticks out in the when it comes to all of the wing players in the league. But here's the thing: why is a level better than all of them? All of them. We can argue that Jason Tatum is on the same level, But we know Jason Tatum is not a better player than Kawhi Leonard. So as you can tell, yesterday Jimmy Butler was rolling, but then when Kawhi got in and checked him, it was a little different. All of a sudden, you didn't see that player. Yeah, Chris Dunn was guarding him too. Chris Dunn, shout out to him, man. Listen, yeah. Before I continue with this guy Kawhi thing, Chris Dunn he had a phenomenal season. Congratulations to him. Ty Lue, he know who to play, and Chris Dunn had one of like the guys that would not get credit at all. He's like a I don't know, maybe a Trevor Ariza slash PJ Tucker in a James Harden team in one player. So on every James Harden team, you always see one of those I don't know, they call it 3 and D guy, like just playing. He just gonna be out there play defense, guard the best players, or one of the best players, and just stand in the corner, shoot open shots, or not take stupid shots. Sticking to his role, and he is playing his role to perfection right now. Chris Dunn. So shout out to Chris Dunn. So back to Kawhi. So Kawhi is better than all of them that I just mentioned. He's better than Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Jimmy Butler. Stronger than all of them. So as you can see, when he's checking Jimmy Butler, all this Jimmy Butler advantage goes away when Kawhi was guarding him. There is no knock to Jimmy Butler, but this is just Kawhi. And I kind of felt it in the before it actually happened. I was like, yo, when Kawhi is checking, you're not gonna see Jimmy Butler out there mean mugging like that when Kawhi is guarding him. And when Jimmy Butler is guarding Kawhi, it doesn't look like it's a defender that is supposed to lock Kawhi. He's too small. So all of a sudden, when he's guarding Kawhi, he's too small. Kawhi is just a better player. So imagine now talking about Jimmy Butler. And that's the difference because James Harden and Steph Curry, they cancel each other out. But then who was the next guy? It was between Jimmy Butler and Kawhi. Yeah, Jimmy Butler, I think he got hurt in the fourth quarter, but Kawhi was killing it anyway. Like he was killing them. All of a sudden, I saw my bad, Draymond Green switched to him in the end of the game. And he actually, Draymond Green, y'all know one of the best players in the league right now. Probably, I don't know, probably the best. Like he did a good job, but it was still Kawhi. Just so much you can do. Kawhi still hit. I don't know. I think he missed a couple, but he still. Well, he finished with like two. I think he finished with 12 out of 18 or something last game in the field goals, half court offense. Like he was 12 out of 18 half court set versus a Golden State defense. That should say a lot. That should say a lot for everybody. So so that's what I'm saying. So Kawhi right now, he's on that role. So I don't think Nuggets have anybody for him. And even worse, if they get to OKC second round, if OKC get to the second round, which I'm not sure right now. Now I'm definitely not sure if they get to the second round. But just because if Golden State lose the first playing game, which is possible when it comes to Memphis Grizzlies. This whole Memphis Grizzlies thing with Golden State has always been a little weird rivalry where it feels like Memphis feels like they just basically are better than Golden State. The year that Golden State won, they just won that game because Ja got hurt in the middle of the season, something like that. Like I think that's how Memphis feel. I still think Golden State is a better team, but I think it was another year when they were playing in the playing game against. I think they played in like two playing games against Memphis, lost both. So their story with Grizzlies in the playing is not a. That's not the team that Golden State wanted to see. That's why they had to win the game. So Grizzlies, they kind of messed up everything now when they got into the playing conversation because they were top seed the whole season, and now they be playing bad, but still got 48 wins after finishing off the season actually bad. So so yeah, so Yeah, so we're gonna talk about Warriors, maybe getting into if they get the eighth seed. But just to finish off with the Clippers thing, not to get out of topics. Kawhi, right now, he's probably every game he's gonna be in, he's gonna be the best player on the court. It's not gonna show in the stats, but yo, you can if you're watching the game, you will see right away. Okay, who's actually having the best game right now? So because yeah, Jokic can't kill the Clippers by himself. He's not gonna do that. This is the Clippers. The Clippers will not struggle like that. Like yesterday, you can tell that the way they won the game is like they knew they're gonna win the game. They've been on I don't know what streak Clippers been on, but I think they won like the last 7 out of 9 games, and before that they were rolling too. So I'm saying again, listen, I think Clippers is the most dangerous team in the whole West. Them and Lakers. I said the finals is gonna be played in LA from West, from the West side. It will be played in LA because it's coming. I think it's this whole postseason. No matter how people want to slice it, or dice it, or you can throw up a lot of. Anthony Edwards gonna be interesting. He's probably the most interesting player this postseason if he takes that step that everybody know he can go to. I don't think it's gonna happen this year, and that's what's sad. And then people will start looking at, yeah, is it the one or not? I know he probably looking at SGA, John Morant, all of them, Tatum, like, yo, I'm better than y'all. I'm pretty sure he really believes that he's better than them. That not from a confidence standpoint. I think he actually believes that he's better than them. But he's gonna have to show it. But the problem is he's gonna run into the Lakers. But yeah, to wrap it up with Clippers, real quick, Kawhi is gonna be the best player on the court every game, and every season, every postseason, James Harden, even though he can dominate the game the whole game. The only thing that he'll be missing every postseason, when if you're looking at his Rockets teams, the Sixers, because the Brooklyn he didn't get to finish that playoff. Like if everybody know if Brooklyn had a full squad, they will go on a crazy run. The NBA will look totally different if Brooklyn actually had if the Brooklyn story went like it was supposed to go, because that was straight up injuries that messed that story up. But James Harden been missing the closer. He always been missing a closer because he haven't really been capable of closing the postseason games, because the Rockets team have demanded him to literally close every game. But you go in the playoffs, you're gonna need the extra guy. But now you actually have a guy on the team that's probably better than him, Kawhi Leonard, once again. So I think that's what been missing from his end. And now that's dangerous. Year, I don't know what it is, year 14, whatever it is. Now when we're gonna see it, I think it's gonna be crazy. Him and Kawhi. I think yesterday they went for 70 combined. Like it didn't even look forced the way they played yesterday. It didn't look forced at all. But they dominated the game. They dominated the game. So to sum that up, James Harden been missing a player like Kawhi. Because if you had yeah, basically, let's say the Brooklyn story, if it was just him and KD, for example, I think they would probably still win it. Like we just didn't see it. Like he always been missing that wing player, because in the postseason, if it's not your big, you always need those wing dominant players in the postseason when the game slows down, because just staying on top of the key, getting a pick and roll, attacking, it's easier to guard when once all the scouting report is tight. But when you have wings that plays from create from multiple positions, high post, mid post, all that, post up, like mid range, from the mid range area, it's tougher to guard. And Kawhi is the best player in the league right now from those angles. And I think those angles is actually what always, yeah, I think the basketball in general always comes down to those positions. Remember, I said post up, mid range, wing, but still close to the rim, where you can just basically catch the ball. You 1, 2 dribbles away from the basket, more dangerous. Kobe Bryant, a la Michael Jordan, D Wade. It's a history there. KD, LeBron, Melo, Paul Pierce. I can keep going. So, but yeah, so that's why I think this Kawhi Leonard factor is more dangerous than ever. So yeah, man, Clippers. I don't know if I'm rooting for them this postseason, but I really want to see them go to the conference finals. Imagine them versus LA or something in conference finals would be crazy. So yeah, so yeah, y'all stay tuned, man. It's gonna the Clippers Nuggets series probably gonna be the most exciting series, or maybe the Lakers and Timberwolves. And let's jump to real quick. Uh, let's go through. Remember, I said last video, OKC is going out the first round. I still believe so, but at the end of the day, it comes to who they play. I know. I feel like if Golden State lose, but then they beat Mavericks or Sacramento, Golden State will beat OKC. I I think if I would go to the State, I would actually want him because y'all got all the experience that OKC doesn't have. So it can still come down to a series where OKC just I don't know beat him 4-1, 4-2 because Steve Kerr I don't know man like Steve Kerr yo he be messing with Kuminga a little too much man like he played him 0 minutes yesterday and I think if Jimmy Butler doesn't go to that Miami Jimmy Butler playoff Jimmy mode, you're gonna need Kuminga because I don't think Pozimski's gonna bring it home for you. Shout out to Pozimski, man. He like talking about stepping into a role. Like he been having a great season. Like he low key replaced Jordan Poole in a sense, just under more control because and more consistent because when Jordan Poole is going off, shit, going off. But he haven't played that. He don't have the body work of what the Jordan Poole had when he was with the Warriors because he'd been a little in and out from a bench player, straight up bench, and then six man. Now he's starting all of a sudden. So him and Moses Moody is like they're trying to figure out like who's supposed to do a little more, like who should have the bigger role offensively. Defensively, shit is a mismatch. So yeah, Moses Moody. Yeah, I mean, he can't be having these little 10-point games. Like, he's the only guy that I really don't understand his role on that team. Like, maybe that's the point of his role. Like, he's just gonna do whatever needs to be done. But right now, if y'all gonna face Thunder, y'all nigga, you gotta be on. You better be on one. Now I'm talking about Thunder. If y'all face Rockets, I feel like is the more dangerous team than the Thunder in this postseason. So then y'all gonna need even more from him. So if Steve Kerr is not gonna find his way to actually get Kuminga in the mix, I think Warriors that's gonna be what's gonna be missing. I know it's an internal beef, whatever they got going on with Kuminga, but yo, straight up, that's what it is for me. So y'all better get Kuminga in the mix. Coming in the mix. But yeah, so if the but back to the OKC Warriors matchup, I think SGA and Steph for right now, out of respect for everybody, Steph and Shea will probably cancel each other out. But to be honest, my opinion is I think Steph is gonna outplay SGA big time. big time. Like if they both on the playoffs, he will play SGA so bad that now y'all gonna see that it's gonna require the whole Thunder to look like the number one team that like they've been looking. Like you gonna now we're gonna need that J Dub to be an All Star. You're gonna need Chet to be an All Star. We can't Chet. We be waiting. You haven't been in the league that long, but bro, you're like it's time, bro. It's time for you to take that step. You didn't do it last year. I know you've been hurt this year, but Chet have to be like Chet have to be low key the best player this whole for the whole postseason for OKC to win it all. I think that's what it's gonna take from him. I think that's what it's gonna take from OKC. They're gonna need Chet to be the best player in this whole postseason. That's what it's gonna take. I'm saying that because I think he's capable of it. We talk about I don't know best out of 7, 4 rounds, 28 games, which is a lot. So you're gonna need him to be on that level. Best player of the postseason. And I don't think it's gonna happen this season. But if it does, then shout out to him. Like, congrats to him if he actually find a way to get the title. So if that'll happen, Warriors will beat him. Lu Dort is gonna do a phenomenal job. He'll probably run after Steph, but Lu Dort guarding Steph, I don't think is the best matchup for them, to be honest. He probably should be on Jimmy Butler because if he's gonna be on Steph running around like that, if he's gonna run around like that with Steph, y'all, bro, he's gonna be done in the second quarter. So yeah, so all of a sudden, even if Thunder be chilling and now this last year since they already got the number one seed a long time ago, like they in trouble if Golden State loses this game against Grizzlies. And even if they play Grizzlies, to be honest, I haven't watched Grizzlies like that. I don't know, but I still feel like I even feel like Grizzlies they were supposed to be the Thunder. Shit just happened after they ran into the Lakers. Then they got rid of Dylan Brooks because the media manipulated the whole thing with making Dylan Brooks look so bad. All of a sudden, y'all got him looking like a distraction, like he wasn't one of the engines, one of the factors that got this whole thing, this whole dynasty, or what not dynasty, but this whole movement going with John Morant. Like Dylan Brooks was there. He was actually balling before Bale took his game to another level. And then when Bale took his game to another level with the Dylan Brooks, bro, this team was dangerous. But now y'all have that in Rockets, and now the Rockets are second seed like Memphis were. So you see those players that don't. That's exactly the players that you're never gonna see fancy stats. You just have to have a great coach that understands the value of a player like Dylan Brooks. So yeah, so that's the thing. So now he's in with Rockets doing his thing because if Warriors get Rockets, I think I don't think it's a good matchup for Warriors because I feel like Warriors can win if they just let them shoot threes. Like if y'all let them get to the basket, then y'all in trouble, big trouble. Then I think the series is gonna be over real quick. But if they find a way to protect the paint, then I think Warriors will have a chance. But Rockets is they're gonna make noise this season. I mean, they might have a bad first round, but we'll see. They're young. Sengun, man, Alper Sengun, bro. Right now after Jokic, he's looking like the best big guy out there. So him and Sabonis, I don't know. So it's those two that. Yeah, so Sengun is nice, So Sengun, he can change this whole postseason like a little bit he can shake it up for a lot of teams. Like if they get to second round, especially and they get Lakers, for example. Then I think Sengun, that's gonna be his series right there. Or if they get Timberwolves, I don't think Rudy Gobert is gonna be able to guard Sengun either. Shout out to Rudy Gobert, but I don't think it's gonna be able to. Like you see the way Jokic be dominated, like the way he be frying his ass. I think it's gonna be the same when he's going to Sengun. So yeah, so listen, this whole Western Conference is weird. So now you see I kind of been a little all over the place because it's the playing situation. So it's a lot of possibilities here. So that's why I kind of had to jump from Warriors versus Thunder and maybe a little Warriors versus Rockets. And now you heard me talk a little bit about Memphis versus Thunder or Memphis versus Rockets. So yeah, so it's weird, man, but it's gonna be interesting. I I kind of want Sacramento in the playoffs too. It's like for me, honestly, I would like to see. Memphis, they can come back next year since they fired the coach anyway. So in a way, it's like you want Rockets. No, you want the Warriors Thunder matchup, but at the same time, we need the Kings to get in too. So and Kings against Thunder, I think that matchup too is like, yeah, we can talk a little bit about that if Thunder get the Kings because I think Mavs gonna lose. They should lose this game. Just come back next season, man. There is no point right now. So just lose this game, bam, y'all done. So if the Kings get the Thunder, I think that matchup too is low key. For me, it's favoriting. I'm on the Kings side too. It's not like I'm hating on the Thunder. I just don't believe it in them. And it's nothing against SGA. Shout out to him. SJ going from a role player to one of the top players in the league. Like shout out to him. Like, he's doing a phenomenal job. So, but let's say if they play the Kings, that's when you will see him and DeRozan cancel each other out. I don't think he's gonna be better when he's straight up half court. That he's gonna be a better, more dominant than DeRozan in a postseason game because DeRozan is he kind of does everything that DeRozan does in his way, and he being more efficient now because he had the ball more and all that. But yo, now it's a 7 game series. I think DeRozan is gonna be a more efficient player than him in half court. So because of DeRozan's post up game, like just yo, listen, half court, DeRozan been one of the best players in the league for a minute now. Straight up, we're talking half court. I don't think he's that many players. And now we're talking, if you want to talk consistency, like, yeah, he been that guy. He just been on bad teams. And now this Sacramento team is like a super streaky team, but they got players. And the reason I think, one reason too, I think Sacramento can beat him is I just feel like Sacramento got better players. Like the starting five is better than OKC starting five in a way that what I mentioned, I don't think Chet is gonna outplay Sabonis because it's gonna be both him and Hartenstein that's gonna check Sabonis. But Sabonis is just a phenomenal offensive player. He don't force anything. He's just gonna be out there with getting a triple double. So I think Sabonis will outplay both of them, to be honest. That's the thing. So when you have Sabonis outplaying both of them, let's say DeRozan and Shea cancel each other out, then he was going a lot is gonna come down because OKC can play 12 players at the same time. So then all of a sudden it's gonna come down to J Dub, Zach Levine. Zach Levine haven't been in the postseason. I think he ever. I don't think he ever been in the postseason. He got hurt with the Bulls, and Bulls that year, low key. If Zach Levine was healthy, I think they would actually beat Bucks one of the years at the time. So you have Zach versus J Dub. I'm taking Zach in a 7 game series. Both of them gonna be streaky, but I think just Zach is just a better player. He's just a big like you. If J Dub, I don't think he's gonna give you those 40 point games the way they play right now. The way the team is constructed, the way everything is going through SGA, I don't think J Dub is gonna be the one. If he does, yo, respect to him, then he's better than I thought. Yeah, I don't think he can give you these 40 point games or 35 point games in the postseason like that. what I think Zach can do against any team. It just depends on if he's hitting his shots or not. Because he's gonna be, I think he's gonna be aggressive enough. He don't have no choice, to be honest. So Zach Levine is kind of, even if I just mentioned DeRozan and SGA can cancel each other out, Zach Levine is the player that can be the best player in that series, period. If he actually plays like he's, if you have a if you just go to that Zach Levine level, if you go to Demon Time, he can be the best player in the series. He's also one of the guys that can go out there and be the best player in many games. I don't feel that way with J Dub. So I think that matchup is gonna, yeah, I think it's gonna come down to that matchup, to be honest, if Sacramento play the Thunder. So yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. What is gonna be interesting. This whole, I don't know, think this upcoming 4 or 5 days, the NBA is gonna be crazy. Just the playing is gonna say a lot. So I haven't talked about the Lakers and Timberwolves. Let's do that. We can talk about that right now. I'm not gonna talk about the Eastern Conference, man. We're only gonna talk about the Eastern Conference playoffs today, not today, man. Listen, the only okay, let's do it real quick. Cade Cunningham is gonna be a coming out party for him. So that's it. I think they're gonna beat Knicks. They're gonna beat him badly, 4-0. I think they're gonna sweep him. Maybe max 4-1. I don't know how healthy, like how Brunson be looking lately, but the whole Knicks thing, it doesn't feel the same. So I think the Eastern Conference, yeah. So the Eastern Conference, Kate Cunningham's gonna be one of the biggest stories right now. And Celtics will just fly on their radar till they get to the finals. Because I don't think Cavs can beat Celtics. Even though Cavs, shout out to my guy Mitchell, great season. But I don't think that team is good enough. Straight up, period. Like y'all, I don't know if y'all remember, I already said I don't think Evan Mobley have to be like a low-key number one option for them if they're gonna win that series, or Garland have to go to another level, and I don't think he's gonna take it to that level since I don't think he got it right now. Maybe next year. So I don't think Garland's gonna be up there looking like Austin Reeves or nothing like that. So yeah, so the last matchup you have or one of the last matchups in the West, Timberwolves and Lakers. Yo, I honestly think it's gonna be a 7 game series. I really believe that because I don't think Lakers will be. I don't think Lakers can play 4 straight games, like straight good games. Like they, I think it's gonna be, they're gonna have a great game, and then the other game, probably if Austin Reeves struggles a little bit, they're gonna lose it. It's low-key gonna come a lot's gonna come down to how well Austin Reeves plays. Because Luka and LeBron, bro, they are Luka and LeBron. We don't have to dig deep on that. But Anthony Edwards, it's like people saying he should be the face of the league because of the character and the potential and all that. And I believe in his potential for sure. I really do. But I just feel I don't feel like he's not playing in the post enough. Which don't really matter in the regular season, but when you get to the postseason, it will matter. And that will be the difference. Yeah, LeBron, you see, LeBron will do it. Luca will do it. So you just think you're gonna be out there dribbling off pick and rolls, shooting these threes when they go under the screens and beat both LeBron and Luca? That way, I don't think it's possible. So I think he have to. I think he will have to adjust his game a lot if they're gonna beat Lakers. So I really had Timberwolves. I thought they would be one of the more scarier teams in this playoffs. But since the whole Western Conference thing at the end got so messed up with matchups, now they're in trouble. So now because they're just running into Lakers, I don't think they can beat Lakers, and that's sad because I honestly believe they will beat anybody else I think they'll actually beat anybody else they play except for Clippers. I think they'll beat them. Maybe Clippers too, because of their grit. They have a little extra the way they can play defense. Like Minnesota, really they can clap up. They really lock up, slide and freeze and be like, you know what, yo, we down 20 in the middle third quarter, take over, start playing full court, man to man, straight up like dog shit. So I don't think many teams have that. So Anthony Edwards, he gonna have to outplay both LeBron and Luca. Because Julius Randle, I think he will have a good series. I'm not sure. I feel like once again, I think Julius Randle is probably one of the most slept on players for this postseason. Like he's gonna be one of that. He can be one of. He can have a huge breakout. Like he's still. We know he's good, but he been injured lately, and we haven't seen in the postseason for a minute. And that postseason he was with Knicks, bro, it was just weird. Just a weird team overall. They didn't figure out anything at that time. So right now he be playing. I think he's be playing the best basketball for his career. To be honest, these last 2 months. So Julius Randle, he's a player that can change everything for the Wolves. Like if he just use that physical advantage that he just have basically on the offensive end straight up, there's few real power forwards out there. So if he does that, he's gonna be a big problem. I really think he's gonna be a big matchup problem for the Lakers because uh, LeBron is 41. Like how you can have LeBron just playing defense all a full series, like straight up uh, guarding a whole series. I don't think he can do it. He can probably do it, but I think they're gonna have when they have this Vanderbilt and Rui Hachimura. I think he can take advantage of it. Like I know Vanderbilt is a dog. He's a great defender, but I don't think those advantages that Vanderbilt have against a lot of players. I just think he's strong. He's quick and smart, long arms. He can jump, but he's stronger than many players. But I don't know if he's stronger than Julius Randle. He probably is, but I think that's what it's gonna come down to. Like physically, It's gonna be physical matchups for Randle, and if he can win that battle, basically, okay. Long story short, he got to get into a Zach Randolph mode. If he's in a Zach Randolph mode, it's gonna be problems for everybody. So yeah, listen. So that's my take right now for the Western Conference. So I haven't predict. I'm gonna give you a full prediction when the playing tournament is set. When it's done, then we can go into predictions. But yeah, once again, shout out to Clippers again. It's gonna be crazy to see Clippers this postseason. Clippers gonna be, yo, they got the richest owner, new arena. They're out of that little sharing gym with the Lakers, blah blah blah. So they're their own now. So new era, low key. So it's gonna be. Oh, I can't remember. Shit, I can't wait to see how the home crowd is gonna be now. Clippers fans they've been having some loyal fans through these years, all that. So yo, it's gonna be interesting, man. Clippers gonna be interesting. Kawhi is back. Don't forget, Kawhi is back. So maybe it was a little all over the place, but if you really think about what I've been mentioning, hey, like I said, James Harden been more dominant offensive player than LeBron these last 8 years. We can talk about it offensively. So you have that. Kawhi can be the best player on the court every single game. So you have that. But yeah, stay tuned, man. Yo, you know what it is. Simple B, man. Yo, hit the subscribe button. You dig.